Head coach Natalie Lynn after the first win of the season for the Austintown Fitch Falcons, 92 points of offense put up. And I mean, you can't really ask for much more offensively than what this team put up. Talk to me about what was going so well on offense and what you saw production-wise from all the girls.
Offensively, we were able to use our defense to transition us right into offense. We got tips right away, and we were just running, and that's what we want to do. Our shots were falling at the beginning, and that's all we could ask for. And then after a while, we kind of told them to pull back, and we dropped out of our press break. And that's when things kind of started slowing down for us because we just wanted those layups. But then once Zeta got to that key point where you knew she might break it, we gave her the green light again.
We'll get to Zeta here in a second. There's 3 players I want to highlight. Obviously, we could highlight probably every single one of them, but we don't want to have necessarily the time for that. First player, though, Jocelyn Jordan. A player we haven't seen since junior year, but I think the improvement defensively from sophomore to senior year was exponential. What did you see defensively and how well she played that role tonight?
She was willing to body girls up tonight, whereas sophomore year, that was non-existent to her. Boxing out, same thing. She didn't want the contact. She was always so scared of it. And now she's finally back, ready for the contact, enjoying it, accepting it, and that's great to see.
Player that maybe didn't have the most points on the night, but I definitely noticed in the passing game, in the rebounding game, Ayla Ray, another one of those. She was at the tops of a lot of those categories last year. She looks to be another threat this year. Talk to me about how important her play is, even when she's not scoring the most points.
I actually just told her that in the locker room, that it's not about the number you put up there, because defensively, we got so many steals and deflections just from Ayla. And I was on her at the beginning of the game because she wasn't boxing out, and she turned it around and was clearing the girls out right away. And she just knows where to be and when to be there, and it changes the pace of the game, and her shot will eventually fall. But we have so many other scorers on our team, too, that these girls are just going to have to learn. This is your position. It's okay if you don't put the points up tonight.
Final question for you, and I mean, it's the girl of the hour. 44 points tonight. Broke a record that has stood since 1995. It's a record that you knew about. You played on this program. You know how prestigious it was. How special is it to see this broke in 2022, to say that first game of you being a head coach, one of your players has that record now?
It's amazing because I was her first coach when she came to Austintown too, and I've kind of said that this whole time, but just to be with her through this whole journey. And I was standing on the bench when I think there was like 38 points, and I was like, someone say, like, I can feel my pulse, I'm nervous for her. So just to see what she was able to do, and to have a team that was willing to give it up for her, because we talked on the bench, I called a timeout and I said, you have to stop trying to do this all on your own. It's not going to happen if you do it that way. And I told the girls, I feel like you are all willing and want her to get this, so you have to be willing. When she dishes it, she's going to get open and you have to give it back. And it's exactly that.
And I mean, no time to rest, really. You got to turn right around after a one-day rest. You go Monday now to Liberty, if I'm not mistaken. Friday, excuse me, Friday, I should say. And then Monday, you're going to be back home. But Friday to Liberty. How are you guys going to continue that momentum rolling forward now?
We've got to work on our defense. I think the end of the game today was mainly to work on our defense for Liberty, because our momentum and our movement wasn't there at first. Our help side and deny needed a lot of work, so we're going to work on that in practice this week, and hopefully we can get the defense down pat so we can transfer it just in our offensive game like we did today.
Head coach Natalie Lynn after a 1-0 start for the Austintown Fitch Falcons.